Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk less chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing. Cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football. We discussing it all. On and off the field. You know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent. You need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan. Pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast, and we poppin'. Let's go.
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.
Yo, what's cracking, Panther Nation? It's your boy Rashad and Dave in the building. All season, still cracking, every day getting a little bit closer to this draft, man. Got to be excited about it. Dave, what's good with you, bro? You got the OG shirt on?
Yeah, man. You know, I'm over here packing my bags. And I look, man. I was packing my boxes because I'm moving again, and I ran into this PNP shirt. So I said, you know what? Let me throw this on for the night. Let me throw this on for the OGs. It's for the OGs tonight.
Shout out to the OGs digging in the crates. OG logo, man. I still like that joint. That joint's still fire.
Oh yeah, it's fire. It's fire. Good thing we just gotta make sure Tepper don't, Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Bello. Joe Bello, the artist. He's the one that designed that logo. By the way, we ran into him before he became super famous, and he designed that logo, man. So shout out to him for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Anyway, Dave, how was your weekend before we get into the information that we have to talk about? There's a lot of information, Dave. It's a lot to talk about today. We're gonna get into it.
Yeah, so my weekend was cool, man. This is the final weekend of my daughter being a minor. This upcoming weekend, she's gonna become an adult. I can kick her out of my house. I can't wait.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but overall the weekend was good, man. It's very, very chill. I started, like I said, I'm moving in June, so I'm packing up. Still haven't decided where I'm moving yet, but I'm moving in June.
Again, how you packing for somewhere you don't know where you're going?
I got a deposit in 2 different places. I just got to make a decision and lock something down. One's still in the area, and the other one is
money. Can't have money.
Nah. These deposits were cheap. So you know what I'm saying. Nah, we ain't got money, man. The stock market decided to crash for me last week. So
sure, it's getting ugly out here. Ugly out these streets.
So, but it's cool. It's cool though. It's pretty cool. I watched a little bit of basketball. It was kind of hard for me to get into basketball this weekend, man. When all the ones are there, it's kind of hard for me to enjoy it.
It was good basketball. Shout out to Duke. They folded like a mug, bro.
Bruh.
They folded hard, bro. They folded.
They're gonna live that one.
That's pretty bad, bro. They're gonna
live that one for a while, bro. I did catch the end of that. I caught the end of that. I caught that. Now what happened to Houston yesterday was kind of blasphemous, but I don't think folks are ready for that discussion.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even watch.
See? So like all I'm gonna say is this: the foul call shifted tremendously towards the end of that game. Like I think at one point Houston had 3 fouls in 9 seconds.
Yeah, a little bit of karma. And just that over the back call for flag was blasphemous, but it's all good, man. It is what it is.
Y'all had no reason. Regardless, y'all had no reason to blow the lead to jump in.
1,000%. They folded. They choked hard. But pause. But yeah, that was crazy. I couldn't believe it, bro. I was sitting and watching. I still don't believe they folded like that. It's crazy, but it is what it is, man. You live and you learn. They'll be back. They'll reload and be back.
I ain't living in the hood, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. there's been a lot of police cars walking down my complex over the last couple of days. A lot of flashing lights, man. A lot of flashing lights.
No Kanye?
No Kanye.
Okay. All right.
No Kanye.
Shout out to A-Cash. So Dave got enough money for 2 PS5s and deposit
Hey
on
man,
$2.
don't be out here counting my dollars like
Dave,
that.
let me hold $1. This is facts. I remember we
No.
had 2 PS5s when it was impossible to get. I remember that.
I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get this Switch. You know, they out here with these dang old terrors out here stopping pre-orders, and that joint gonna cost $600 at launch, bro. That joint.
Shout out to A-Cash.
Shout out to A-Cash. And I don't have a house. That's why I gotta keep moving.
All right.
So I gotta keep moving.
All right. Let's go ahead and let's keep it moving. And let's get into this content, man. Let me go ahead and share my screen here and get into some of this good content, Dave. There we go. All right. So y'all know what time it is, man. Stay on the prowl. You know what it is. All right, Dave, our good friend Sam Franklin has been signed by the Denver Broncos. And I kind of got the inkling that he will get signed elsewhere. I think, and this is just my opinion, I think that Sam is looking to get a bigger role. He wants to play safety. I think he's been adamant about that. Even when he was here, he wants to have a bigger role. He's not just a special teams guy. And so I think he was kind of leaning away from re-signing with the Carolina Panthers, which is crazy because you would think, he would have an inside track to get that job, being that we don't have no daggone safeties on the roster hardly. So with us not having any safeties and needing a safety and a guy that wants to play safety, that tells you all you need to know about Sam Franklin Jr. and why he is no longer a Carolina Panther. But Dave, what do you think about this, bro?
You know what that also tells us? It tells us exactly what we're going to be doing. The fact that he could have pretty much had pretty much a shoe-in to get a starting role, and he still said, "Nah, I'm heading to Denver." That says a lot, man. But nah, I'm gonna miss him, man, because he was a good player, very good special teamer. He was a good player, man. I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah, he's a dog, man. At special teams, he was the one that brought the sauce to the special teams and brought a lot of energy. If the sideline was kind of whack, all you gotta do, and it's cool. That's what's dope about going to the games, because you see some of those interactions that aren't necessarily on TV. You see Sam Franklin, he always had the juice, man. He was always turned up, and it's gonna be missed around here, man. A good special teamer. But, I think he was also an expensive special teamer. He was getting paid a little bit, not a lot. I wouldn't say expensive, but you can go cheaper than Sam Franklin. I think that's what we decided to do there. That's just my opinion. So yeah, that is Sam Franklin and him moving on to the Denver Broncos. Unfortunate. All right, anything else on Sam Franklin before we move on?
Nah, man, not at all. But hopefully he does well in Denver.
All right. Yeah, hopefully he does well in Denver. All right. So Dave, we talked about this the week prior, but we did agree to terms with Raheem Blackshear. So Raheem Blackshear, another special teams guy, is now back on the roster, also plays running back. I did not expect this to happen. I ain't gonna lie. I did not expect us to re-sign Sam Franklin. But it is what it is. Dave, what are your thoughts on Sam Franklin?
My tooting dreams has disintegrated with the signing of Blackshear. I don't think we're gonna be drafting running back guys. I think we'll probably get somebody in free agency. But I think the decision to re-sign him, and he fixes two problems. Like you said, he can return. He's a returner too. So I think my Tootin' and Panthers uniform dreams have just got shattered with this signing. But I'm happy to see him back. But I'm just, it's tough, right? Because, but then again, if you go off the attitude that I've had about what I think these guys are going to do at 8, this is kind of expected when you sit down and think about it. Only because they might think the offense isn't as bad as we think the offense is. You follow me? And if you don't think the offense is as bad as what the fan base thinks it is, then you resign somebody like a Raheem Blackshear. That's what you do.
I mean, for me, I think this is more of a special teams thing. I think you don't have anybody on the roster right now. Now that you got Raheem re-signed, you do have a guy
You
that can
do.
return punts and kicks. And I don't know what the plan for that was. I don't know if they. I mean, I know that Leggett can do it, but will he do it? I don't know if they're gonna put their number one guy out there like that to be returning kicks and punts. So I don't know, man.
But also, right, you also need the running back help too. Like I said, he fixes two problems.
Do we though? Do we need a three-headed monster? Did you forget we re-signed Rico? Or we signed Rico?
Oh, we did re-sign Rico.
Not re-sign. We signed Rico.
We signed Rico, and then and Jonathan Brooks gonna be out for the year. We still got Chuba.
Yeah. So did we? I mean, yes, it'd be nice to have some running back depth. And I think I think drafting a running back could be beneficial. We'll talk about this a little bit later. But yes, because Rico is on a 1-year deal, I think drafting a running back is still something that needs to be done because you don't know what is going to happen with Jonathan Brooks in after this year. Is he healthy? Maybe, but I'm not betting on it. I'm not betting on Jonathan Brooks ever playing for us, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm going to keep it a butt with you, bro. I'm leaning towards I'm leaning towards that as well. But at the same time, I'm not Dan Morgan either, right? He might think I already got a guy. I just need to get through this year. Like the Rico with 1-year deal, that could be the reason why is because of that, right? You're like, all right, my guy should be back. Jonathan Brooks should be back. You know, we could go ahead and slide Blackshear and we just keep the same three guys that we had before after this year. Now, I don't know how long the deal is. I'm assuming it's more than a year.
What, for Rico?
No, for Blackshear.
Let me see. I don't know. It's probably a 1-year because he was restricted. So I do not know, but I can double check that. Go continue your point. My apologies.
But so depending on that might just be the Band-Aid, right? I don't know, because if Rico has a great year, I don't think we're going to be able to re-sign Rico.
Well, he had a great year last year, and he still hit the open market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my point though. Like I don't know if Rico has another good year after paying Chuba that we're going to sign. Like I don't think we're going to like go crazy on the running back side. Because we got a rookie, we got a running back that's still on a rookie deal, and then I'm pretty sure we didn't give Blackshear the bank, so because we already paid our guy.
It's a 1-year deal confirmed.
Okay,
so all 1 year. So you got two running backs on a 1-year deal, and you got Jonathan Brooks who's on a rookie contract, and you got Chuba that you just re-signed. But I don't know how comfortable I am with Brooks and his future. Like, bro, I think
we're gonna draft one, but I don't think it's necessary to draft one this year. Like, I think you can you could do the same. You could do a similar thing that you did this year. And the following year, you reassess. You still possibly draft one because if you don't resign Blackshear after this year, then you can reassess and go draft a guy. If you need to go draft a guy, I can see them grabbing one for undrafted free agent. I just don't see them spending a draft pick on one. That's just my opinion.
Maybe. I think it largely depends on what we do with our picks. If we end up trading up picks and losing some of the picks that we have, then I would agree that we're probably not going to take a running back. I think that's more of a luxury if we have all 9 of our picks and we got to use them somewhere. I could see us taking a running back. But I think it is going to largely depend on the flow of the draft and if we decide to move up and down or whatever. So I think we're going to grab one, bro. And this is coming from a guy that is not on the side of drafting running backs per se. I think we're going to get one. I think we're going to draft another one because I just don't see us. I can't see Dan Morgan being naive enough to put his eggs in the Brooks basket and just say, all right, he's going to come back healthy, even with a year off. Like even if he sits another year, bro, I'm just adding to my depth at that point because it can't hurt at that point, right? So I don't know, man. That's just me. That's just me, bro. And
everybody talking about how loaded this class is, but it's loaded. I'm not gonna doubt that, but you trying to tell me they ain't gonna have no running backs in draft next year? Like I'm just honest question, right? Like you telling me they ain't gonna be in the draft, they ain't gonna be no running back to take next year? There's always running backs to take, guys. Is what I'm getting at. There's always good running backs in the draft.
It's a good class. It is a good class.
No, I'm not doubting how good the class is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like that ain't a good enough reason for me because of the position. like you said, it's a luxury type of thing. There's always good running backs coming out of this draft. Always. There is. Always.
Shout out to Big D No Kool-Aid sipping says if we trade back, we can do a RB late. Yeah, even if we don't trade back, and like I said, we got
9 picks.
Our 9 picks. We could take one, but it just depends on how we move throughout the draft. I think the Panthers are going to be active. We've seen us be active in the draft, trading up, back. I think it's good. You're going to see that again this year. And if we end up with 8, 9 plus picks, then I certainly think we're going to take a daggone running back.
Give me Tootin.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's keep it moving. As you know, this show is basically. Damn, my mouse won't move. There we go. All right. Let's talk about this Colin kid, man. This Colin Granger kid.
Of all the pictures you're gonna pick, man, you're gonna pick this one?
Man, listen. I had to pick the craziest pick I could find, bro. Colin Granger, bro. Tight end. He is a converted basketball player. Division I basketball player. Put some respect on his name. He played 5 years. He played for Ohio, Western Carolina, and Coastal Carolina. So he's a Carolina guy through and through. You know what I mean? I think he's from South Carolina too, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, Dave, they're going out. This guy has never played football ever in his life, right? And he's got an NFL contract, 6'9", 200 and some crazy pounds.
That's why we got an NFL contract, sir. I mean, it's 6'9".
Yeah, but okay, he's 6'9", 245 pounds to be exact. Okay, what are we doing here, Dave? What are the Panthers doing here? All right, let's. What are we doing, man?
Hey, look, man.
What are we doing?
We're making sure we don't hire. We're making sure we don't draft Tyler Warren at 8. That's what we're doing.
I mean, like,
yo,
what are we doing?
But now to give this man, like, to defend this decision, there were multiple teams going after this man. We won the sweepstakes, including the Falcons. The Falcons was going after this man. So I understand you guys want Tyler Warren. I understand you guys really wanted Tyler Warren. But instead, you're getting Colin.
We got the furthest thing from Tyler Warren. This is not even, we got.
No, I'm just. Actually, bro, all jokes aside, hold on. Let me pull this up on Twitter. There were some teams that wanted him.
We got the Dollar Tree Warren, bro. We got the daggone. Boy, we got a bargain bin version of Tyler Warren. But anyway,
Falcons, Texans. Okay. Eagles, Super Bowl champion Eagles, Seahawks, Vikings.
Okay. Like these are they all wanted them.
They all, and we beat. And look, us 9-playoff team, Carolina Panthers beat all these great illustrious teams out. All these playoff teams out, except for the Falcons, they trash. All these playoff teams out, huh?
He's a Carolina.
Don't care.
Guy. Like he's from the area.
He wanted to be here. He wanted to be here. He wanted to be here. Nah, but all right, but like,
I mean, he was. I hope he's
like,
better.
I love it. You know what I love when the Panthers, what the Panthers always do for me, and they help me out so much, and I have to thank the organization for this. Whenever you guys are here hopping some guy y'all want at 8, they sign somebody on that position that makes y'all furious. When I saw this, all I did was laugh. Laugh, as I tell you. All I did was laugh. Y'all kept on talking, Tyler Warren at 8, Tyler Warren at 8. And I'm like, nah, you getting Colin at 8, man. You're getting Colin now.
Now, let me say this, Dave. Now, I know we kind of joking around about the pick, but I will say I saw his little clip that he posted on his Instagram.
Yeah,
and he was sauced up. I like his energy, bro. Like, he got real good energy. You know what I mean? He seemed like happy, like legitimately happy. And like you said, there are multiple teams after him, so it's no surprise. He's out there training, you know what I mean? So he's actually putting the work in. Now, will it pan out? I have very low expectations. Now I know everybody wants to, when stuff like this happens and you see 6'9" and 240, 45, and you see these measurables, these Madden measurables is what I call them. Like if you're making a player and you put 6'9" in, they're gonna be absolute beasts in the game. Like that's dope and all, but the guy has to learn the sport, right? So
he's got to learn how to he's got to learn how to block, and he's got to learn how to he's got
a long way to go, bro. And so I say all that to say,
could he do things in the red zone immediately? Like, could you put him?
Yeah.
Can you run him a quick route and do a Gates?
But will you sacrifice a roster spot for a guy in this type of learning situation?
Yeah.
I don't see
you ain't got much of a choice.
I don't see it. What you mean? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, bro. You're not giving a roster spot to a guy that is still learning how to play the game of football. Now, this is where you have to turn a little bit of realism on, bro. Do you really think this man is going to, bro? They signed a lot of people, bro. There's a lot of people that are signed that don't make the 53-man roster. What are we talking about?
Now, I mean, I'm having fun, but it's gonna be tough for him to make the 53. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, come
on.
The
wild thing is, you can't even, if you done, you couldn't even stash him on a practice squad if you wanted to, because all the attention he already had. Because people are gonna look at him off potential alone. And that's where it's going to get fascinating to see how this goes.
I hope it works out, bro. It would be dope if this dude turned out to be the next Antonio Gates. That would be fire. And I would love to eat crow. I would love to eat crow to see. Yeah, throw him out there. Let's see that's dope. But bro, we can't expect.
No, we can't. We're not comparing. Like, y'all not gonna compare this man to Julius Peppers. I'm not gonna allow y'all to do this. I'm not gonna allow y'all to do this. This is not the same. Peppers play both sports collegiately. Not the same. No. I'm not letting y'all do this.
Now let's do this. Let's bring a little bit of realism to this, because this is not the first time that our GM and our head coach have worked with a tight end that was a former basketball player. They were on the Seahawks front office, or in the Seahawks, coaching staff / front office, when they signed George Fant. George Fant was 6'5", 315 pounds, hybrid tackle / tight end. George Fant got some burn, you know what I mean? So it's not the first time, you know what I mean, that this has gone down. But at the same time, he's had a solid career, 7 seasons with Seattle, Jets, Texans. And so they have been saying that Fant has been working with Granger and told the Panthers about him. You know what I mean? So the only difference is that Granger hasn't played football since 8th grade. So he has played, like somebody said in the chat. He did play in the 8th grade.
That's a long time ago, guys. He wasn't 6'9" in the 8th grade.
He wasn't 6'9" in the 8th grade.
What did he play in 8th grade? Was he a tight end in 8th grade? Like, what was his
idea. I have no idea. That they don't. We got to go dig in the crates to find.
Yeah, and besides, I mean, like a lot of times, yeah, we're oh, he played football in 8th grade. Like what the hell does that mean? Like, all due respect.
Yeah, you got to play at the collegiate level at least for me to respect your game.
Or at least high school. Say, oh yeah, he ain't played since his senior year of high school.
Nah, I can't do that.
But that's better than 8th grade. Like, come on, dog. Like, come on, bro. Yeah. Like, you played in middle school, man.
So I played in middle school. That don't mean I could. You know what I mean? That don't mean I can play it in college.
I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? So listen, all we can
I'm
hope.
Just laughing at you guys out here trying to compare this man to Julius Peppers. Like, I need y'all to stop the cap. Y'all talk about me capping. Y'all need to stop the cap. Stop the cap, chat.
Dave, all we can do at this point, you know what I mean? You got Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Jimmy
Womo.
And you got Colin Granger. Like, let's add them to the list. Those are guys that have gone from college basketball to the NFL and were successful. And Colin Granger is going to be the next guy. Let's just speak it into existence. Let's just go ahead and book it. He's going to be the next one. He's going to be the next Tony Gonzalez. Let's book it. You know what I mean? So
I'm like, yo, bro, when this signing happened, all I could think about was Tyler Warren. That's all I could think about. I'll keep it about. That's all I could think about. And it might work. I mean, it could work. I just hope this ends the Tyler Warren discussions. That's all I could think about.
I don't think it's going to end anything.
I mean,
think
I don't think it's a consideration anyway. But that's what the discussion.
I don't think signing Colin Granger eliminates us from picking Tyler.
You don't have to think that, Rashad. I could think that and have fun with this with my chat and Twitter.
You can have fun with it, but
I am. I don't even think he's a consideration. That's a whole different discussion.
Yeah.
But no, man. I hope it works out. It's just gonna be I think it's gonna be interesting. Now everybody trying to say he played football. Yo, if y'all give me this don't tell me
played in 8th grade. It's 8th grade, bro. It was written. 8th grade was the last time he played football, bro. That's what the streets is saying.
This is the moment where you wish that it would be dope to see this journey on Hard Knocks. This is another reason why we need to be picked as the Hard Knocks team, bro.
So Big D No Kool-Aid Sippin says Belichick developed lacrosse players. Yeah, it will be seen if we have a Belichick-esque coach in Canales. The game guy says teams were ready to sign DJ Burns to be a left tackle. Very good point.
And by the way, if we have a Belichick, that means he's going to get fired. The Belichick's supposed to have coaching job. He didn't make it too far. He didn't start turning it on. He didn't start turning on until he got to after he got fired and went to the Patriots. So, but I would love like we need the Panthers on Hard Knocks off this long. Like the journey of Colin Granger needs to be full documented because I want to see how this goes. But it'll be fascinating to see. I'm not slandering Julius Peppers. I just don't want y'all comparing Julius Peppers to Colin Granger. That's all I'm saying. I love Julius Peppers. Anyway.
Yeah. Yep. But that's Colin Granger, bro. Shout out to Colin, man. We'll see. It's going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be a very interesting training camp storyline to follow. All eyes are going to be on the former basketball player turned NFL player. It's going to be a great storyline to watch. And if he does make the roster, it will be crazy. That's going to be crazy. But we're gonna be on the lookout. We're gonna be on the lookout and see what happens. We're gonna see what happens. All right. Dave, anything else on Colin, bro?
I think I've said enough.
Hey, this is funny, man. Panthers for Life said when they tell him to run a post, his ass gonna post up on the defensive end. That's funny. He's gonna get his terms mixed up. He don't know what sport he playing. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna
he'll know real. Let me tell you something, bro. He gonna know real quick.
Yeah,
it's gonna know real quick.
It's gonna be interesting to see if he can handle that physicality. I mean, he seemed like a tough kid, bro. Like, we'll see. We gonna see.
Yo, man, y'all don't have to call that man the White Antonio Gates. You can just call him Colin Granger. He could be Colin Granger.
Colin, man. Shout out to Colin.
Call him Colin. It's okay.
He looks like a Colin.
Oh, he absolutely is a Colin. He looks like a Colin, South Carolina, too. It all tracks.
All right, let's keep it moving, man. So the offseason schedule has been released. So the first day that the offseason starts for us is April 21st. And then rookie minicamp, we don't know exactly when rookie minicamp is going to start. It's going to largely depend on the draft and obviously, when the schedules can be done. I think last year rookie minicamp was on May 10th through the 12th. So we'll start to see minicamp happen, and then OTAs will happen after that, May 27th through and 28th, May 30th, and then June 2nd and 3rd, and June 5th. So if you're in the area and you want to come out and pop out to Panthers minicamp, it's not open, but for those that want to go and try to get autographs and things like that, that is probably the best time to get those autographs and stuff like that because you can stand at the fence. Guys will come over and sign. I'm just throwing that out there as a little tidbit. You know what I mean? I've been in the game for a long time. That is literally rookie minicamp. That's literally the best time to get all your rookie autographs and all your autographs for your for guys in OTAs because the crowds are light and guys typically will sign. All right. And so that's the offseason schedule. Take note. If you're in the area, pull up. And it is what it is. All right. I missed a super chat. They said, let me see. Let's go back. See if I missed a super chat. I thought I got it. I got the lacrosse joint, Big D. I got that one. I said it.
Yeah, you did definitely get that one. You might have missed another one. You might have. Hold on, let me check.
Oh, okay. No, I did. You're right. Big D says this would be a test to see if we can develop players. Yeah, I mean that's true too. That's true too. I think we got off to a good start with Coker. But it's a good point. We'll see if we can develop guys, and that wide receiver, the pseudo wide receiver threat that he could be. I think that's going to be on Canales and Isaac to see if they can get the best out of him and turn him into an Antonio Gates. You know what I mean? Can they work their magic with the guy? So you're absolutely right. I think that's a great point.
That's a tough. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. That is a tough test. You want to put yourself through. But okay.
Yeah. Wade says, "Can we appreciate that there were other teams interested and that we possibly have a competent front office finally?" Well, I think that's to be seen, right? We don't know what's going to happen with our guy Colin. Like, we don't know if he's going to turn into the next Antonio Gates. Only time will tell. Like, we don't. Yeah, we got him. That's the first part of it. I think that then you got to go back to Big D's point to say, hey, can we develop him? Then we can celebrate together when these two super chats marry, right? Hey, yeah, we got him. Can we develop him? So that it all plays together. So you're right. We did get him. It's something to be celebrated, but that's only half the battle.
I ain't hating, man. I'm not hating at all. The only thing I'm hating though is making sure that we don't take a tight end at 8. But I'm rooting for Colin. I hope he does well.
Yeah, we're gonna see. We are gonna see.
I think it's about the jump ball ultimately. That's not about the jump ball, man. That's about throwing it up, somebody getting it. But anywho.
All right. Let's keep it moving. That's the off-season schedule. Let's get into the Patreon. So patreon.com/PantherNationPC. Check us out. Pull up. Shout out to the MVPs and shout out to all of the franchise folks. And shout out to the free agents. We greatly appreciate y'all support. I do have some Coker stuff to give away. I did not line it up today, so hopefully next week I'll line it up and we'll give away some signed Coker stuff next week for our MVPs. All right. And shout out to the free agents as well. Shout out to y'all, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to go that fast. Shout out to the free agents. We appreciate y'all as well, man. Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody that supports PNP. We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. All right. Dave, Underdog.
All right, guys. I need you guys to go to underdogfantasy.com and use the promo code PNP when you do. I mean, the NCAA tournament just ended, but we got the Masters coming down the pike. They do golf. They do MMA. They do baseball. They do it all, man. So just go to underdogfantasy.com and make sure you use the promo code PNP when you do.
Yeah. Wade says Fit would have gave Ian Thomas a max extension. It could be worse. Yeah, you're probably right, though. I mean, yeah, it's funny. It ain't funny, but it is funny. Yeah,
I mean, you guys been complaining about the tight end position since that man's been on the roster. Now all of a sudden they signing tight ends. Y'all getting mad about who they signed, man. Y'all never satisfied. Look at that. But it's true. Ian Thomas definitely would have gotten paid again. Then y'all would have wished for a Colin Granger.
Yep.
All right, moving on. What's next?
All right, let's keep it moving. All right, really quick. So PFF definitely dropped something. They dropped some rankings for the 2024 draft class and the productivity of said draft class. And it's interesting. So I thought I'd bring it up here. So the Panthers draft class ranked number 20 overall. We were second in the division, so that's kind of cool. The Tampa Bay Bucks finished first, and they ranked number 10. Everybody else was after us. Saints were, and the Falcons were towards the bottom. But what's interesting about this here thing is that our draft class was largely propped up
Jalen Coker
by a guy that wasn't even in the draft class in Jalen Coker. Okay, so that's very interesting. And they have him as one of the highest graded rookie receivers with minimum 30 targets, right behind Marvin Harrison Jr., who was that's kind of crazy when you think about it.
And it goes back to what I keep saying. We got to get that man some more targets. But you can't give him more targets if you're going to draft a guy so high. Like, he needs to get more target share, man. He got to get more target share. 45 targets ain't cutting it. He got to get close to like 70 or 80 next year.
Yeah.
You got to increase his target share.
To be fair, he did sit a couple of games. He was
No, he did. No, that's my. I get that.
And didn't start the season. You know what I mean? So like,
no, I know that, but I get that. But my point, like when we have the discussion about we need to have a wide receiver and we need to take one early, my argument has always been we have bigger needs that'll probably be there, and then probably the value is going to match, and we have a guy that just needs more opportunity. And like you said, you're right. He didn't play the whole season. But when he got the opportunity, he took it. Dog, he had a better percentage target share than pretty much any receiver that we had last year.
Okay, Dave. So let's play a game. When you talk about targets, how many targets per game do you think a guy like Jalen Coker should get?
7, 6 to 7 a game.
So I think he would. I think he would have been on pace to get that had he played a full complement. He was getting 4. He got 4 per game last year.
Yeah, that's my point.
You know
but 6 to 7 per game. I mean, because once you get above 7, you're talking wide receiver 1 territory. I mean, he probably could do better with more than that. But a realistic projection for him next season is to get his target share up to around 7 a game. Like if you can get him up to around 7 a game, as efficient as he is, his numbers are going to go up off that alone. When you talk about reception percentages and things of that sort, his numbers are going to go up alone off that. But I think, and it goes back to what I keep trying to tell folks, what I keep saying about you got to look at the number of pass attempts that they expect Bryce Young to have. Like, I don't think like anything more than 25 is kind of insane. Like, I don't think we're going to see him throwing the ball 30 times in a game. I just don't see that. So if I'm asking for Coker to get 7 targets, you're talking about a quarter of the share, a little over a quarter of the share. So, and that's good, right? So that's where I'm at. Like when you start thinking about how many pass attempts you expect Bryce Young to have, I don't want him. He's probably not going to exceed 25 a game. For Coker to get 7, I mean, it's going to be near the top, if not at the top. We factor in wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, like a Colin Granger. Like when you factor all these things in, you're only going to have 25 shots at this. So that's what you got to, like, I think you don't sign Rico if you're not going to try to run the ball between him and Chuba. They're going to want to run the ball a lot. He ain't throw the ball 60 times in any game last year. Are you talking about 2023? Yeah, look what coaching we had in 2023.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about last year because it's the same head coach. They're not trying to have Bryce Young out here throwing the ball 30, 40 times. They're not. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but they're not. They're not.
Yeah, I think ideally they don't want him throwing the ball that much. I think, they got to find some sort of balance.
Yeah.
But real quick, before we move on from this slide, I do want to talk about Xavier Legette and his stat at the bottom. 14% drop rate is crazy. I just want to throw that out. That's wild. But anyway, but yeah, man.
He got a lot. Look, man, he's a rookie. He was a rookie. He's got a lot to figure out in the offseason. And I think he knows that. And I think he's gonna improve upon that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get better. He's gonna get better.
Yeah.
I think everybody's gonna get better. I think it's a decent start. XL, transition to the NFL. Not an easy thing to do. And so we'll see. We'll see if he can. I hope he does. I'm hoping for him because I think he has a lot of potential. I'm not one of these guys that's out on XL. I think he's got. There's some things he can do that we haven't seen yet. If he catches a couple of those balls last year, bro, I think XL has a completely different rookie.
We did a different perspective on him if he catches some of those balls last year, bro.
If he catches the one against Philly, I mean that changes his whole rookie season, bro. That changes if he catches that one and seals that game, that changes everything. He had another one where he dropped. He was kind of wide open too. There's a couple that he dropped. I think that could definitely change his entire season. So he'll get back. He'll be back, and hopefully he'll return better.
I'm not ready to give up on the guy yet. And I know folks don't want to hear this, but drafting a wide receiver at 8 is giving up on one of these guys, and I think that's wild to me. It's my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm keeping it up with y'all. Like I'm pretty consistent when it comes to like when it's time to let something go at a position. And I think taking a wide receiver at 8 is a sign that you're kind of giving up on the guy. And I don't think you want to relay that message. I think you want him to develop. So you got to give him the opportunity to develop. I just talked about 25 times. 25. So now you draft a wide receiver high. You got Leggett, you got Coker, Thielen's coming back. You got 4 guys 25 times. Then I ain't even mentioned the fact that you're probably going to take a couple targets too. 25 times. Rico 25 times. Like I just want to keep. I'm going to keep saying this all season to remind y'all. Like you're talking 25 times. So all right, I'm done.
All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Man, my mouse is tripping. Okay, so ESPN has this cool little tool. It's a predictor tool, and I think it's pretty dope. I'll show you all the summary at the end. But what it's doing is it's basically predicting who's going to be there at pick number 8 and who the Carolina Panthers could potentially pick at number 8. And so they have some predictions. And so with the highest percentage came in Jalen Walker, right? So what I have on these are some strengths and weaknesses. We all kind of know his game, but they also have potential fit, right? And I think we're going to end up drafting probably one of these guys on this list, right? So what I want to do is kind of gauge the audience and the chat to see how y'all feel about us taking any of these guys, right? Are you completely out or are you completely in on said player? So we're going to go through about 12 players that we could potentially take with the number 8 overall pick, or even if we trade back, just the player itself. If he's available, will we take him? Dave, go ahead.
I'll read it super chat real fast. I disagree with Dave that drafted a wide receiver high means get up on Excel. Bengals drafted Chase, but that didn't mean they gave up on T. T was basically a first rounder, but T was not a first rounder. That's my point. Like T was not a first rounder. They didn't give up on T. T was not a first rounder. That's my thing. It's not basically. There's no basically in that. He wasn't. He just wasn't. And then sometimes there's wide receivers that end up being really good and aren't first rounders. If Exile was coming out this year, what would y'all rank him?
Well, I think I'll say this though. I mean, that may be true. He wasn't a first rounder, but T. Higgins was absolutely no threat to Jamar Chase's job. Like, what are we saying? What are we saying? Like, it don't matter where he was selected. There's no threat to Jamar Chase, bro. So what are we saying?
Like, and that's the thing, right? Like, I can't. I'm not rolling. I can't.
No, but that's to you though, Dave. That's to you because you're saying because they picked him up, like that signals that they. What are we saying? Like, we know that there's no threat. You know what I mean? But
wait. If we drafted Ted,
yeah.
Now if we drafted a Ted, now we drafted Leggett to be the guy. Like let's not veer off from that. Like let's not forget that. Like I think folks want to have a revisionist history about what's going on here. We drafted Leggett to be the guy. Do not get it twisted. All right? Like, let's not do that. So now if we draft Tet, we're not drafting Tet that high to not be the guy.
Yeah.
So what does that tell me? You're already giving up on the guy that you drafted the previous year that was supposed to be the guy. That's my point. But you're right. T. Higgins was not a threat to Jamar Chase. He wasn't. He's not going to be. Never going to be. Jamar's arguably the best wide receiver in the league.
Right.
But like,
so yeah, go ahead, Dave. My fault.
No. But so for me, it's like, all right, I don't know how you make that comparison because Chase. It was clear. It's clear. But when you look at the situation with Leggett, we drafted Leggett to be the guy. And so drafting another wide receiver at 8 is saying that you don't think he's going to be the guy. And maybe you might like that with the front office. Maybe you like the fact that you want somebody that'll just own up to that it was a mistake. I just think it's too soon to call it a mistake. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for a wide receiver to figure out and ball. The greatest wide receiver we ever had. He wasn't a number 1 wide receiver when we first drafted him. He wasn't. He was not. He was an all-pro returner. But then he became one. But y'all gotta have patience, man. That's all I'm saying. All right.
Let's go ahead and hit the rest of these super chats. There's a bunch of them that came in.
All right. If XL was coming out this year, what would y'all rank him amongst the prospects? Ooh. I mean, Hunter would be 1.
Yeah, I probably have him like
4, maybe?
I have him, maybe 4 in the range of Higgins, Noel, kind of in that range. Kind of same place he was in the other group.
I mean, 4.
Kind of 4 or 5-ish, something like that.
I mean, not ahead of the, not like, I wouldn't put ahead of a trap. Like, bro, man. I don't know why all of a sudden I want to get Travis Hunter, but let me stop. T was 38, T was 33rd, XL was 32. Not much. Well, there's a 5th-year option. We traded up to go get him to get the 5th-year option. I think that's a difference, man. I'm just saying, Cash. There's a difference. There's a difference. I'm just saying. I understand. I mean, we traded up to get him the 5th-year option. Just saying. Let's not forget about Bryce Tremaine, the wide receiver we got from the Commanders. Okay. You think? Okay. All right. Okay.
I'm cool.
Broadway Joe, fellas, I looked
at the chat though.
I look at the positive with XL. He dropped clutch passes. I was able to get open in clutch plays. Which do y'all prefer?
You gotta catch it, bro.
You gotta catch the ball, man.
No matter
like, you can't be out here slandering me about how I talked about DJ Moore and his drops and not get mad and try to defend this. You can't.
You gotta catch the football.
You gotta catch those, man. That's what you get paid to do.
You're paid to catch the ball, bro. Like it's dope, and that's one of his game. The part of his game that was the most questioned, right? Can he run routes? Is he able to develop? And so that's great that he was able to get open and improve on route running. But that's all for naught if you can't catch the football, bro. I'd rather you be able to just run in a straight line. If you could that's all you could do as long as you catch the football and outrun people. You know what I mean? You got to catch it. You got to catch the football, bro. Got to catch the football. Go ahead, Dave.
T was picked 33rd after Burrow was picked number 1. He was absolutely supposed to be the guy until Chase fell to him. I mean, but why did Chase fall to him? Burrow got hurt. People forget about that part, huh? I mean,
it's true. It's true.
I mean, Burrow got hurt. Like, like, what do you want me to say? All right. Big D, Kool-Aid, no Kool-Aid sipping. Jaden Hillens, Jalen Royce, and Isaiah Mon are great second-round prospects. Yeah, and I wouldn't be mad if we take one there. I wouldn't be mad at all if we take one there.
I like Royals. Yeah, I know I'm a Royals fan. I like him
all
a
right.
lot.
That's all the.
Did we catch up? Okay.
Yeah, we caught up.
All right. So Jalen Walker. All right. So this is where we are. ESPN analytics will say that, if he was available, there's a 30% chance we would take him at pick number 8 of the other guys that are there if they were available as well. So we all know the versatility that he has. He's explosive, good in coverage, really good IQ. And I think the thing that's up here that's not really talked about, it is starting to be talked about a lot, is his locker room presence and leadership. I think that's what this defense is missing. Obviously, when you get a guy like Shaq Thompson, who is going to be on another roster next year, right? You need somebody to come in there and lead that defense. And I think Walker is well respected. And I think that it speaks to Dan Morgan's point about him wanting to get guys that have been there, play the championship level. And Jalen Walker, and comes from a championship level program in Georgia. I think that this makes the most sense for us to take. And I think his fit, obviously, the hybrid linebacker edge, i.e., Louvu, we talked about it. I don't want to belabor the point, but I think that personally, Walker, if he's available, and I saw y'all in the chat saying that the Patriots want him and other teams will want him. If he's there at 8, I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to take him. Yeah. So,
hey, I did see reports that the Patriots want him too, and so that would be kind of wild if they. And the crazy thing is, I think the Patriots is at what 4, right? Because they're behind the Giants. Yeah. So it's possible that Travis Hunter ain't gonna be there for them. So I wouldn't be shocked if they take Walker at 4, and then you guys can relax. But because that would be a variable type of guy to take. They run a 3-4 down there too, so it wouldn't be shocking at all if they took Walker. if Hunter's not there. I think Hunter's the pick if they're there for New England, but I don't think Hunter's going to be there by 4. I think he'll be gone by 4.
Patriots could be trolling, bruh, because they already sniped us one time. They could be like, man, let's go ahead and get that out there so we can get him again. So yeah. But yeah,
I think, yo, I don't look, man. I'm not discrediting the Pats, bro. I'm not. And the reason why is because they run a 3-4 just like we run a 3-4. I think Travis Hunter's the guy they want, but I don't think Travis Hunter's going to be there for him at 4. So who else would they take? They would probably try to take somebody to anchor their defense. So he would fit the bill.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask the chat. I gotta ask chat. What y'all thinking? Let me get ones in the chat. If y'all rocking with Jalen Walker, if you think Jalen Walker is a really good pickup for the Panthers, you think he would fit, give me a 1 in the chat. If you don't like it, you don't want Jalen Walker, give me a 2 in the chat. I need to see something. 1 if you like Jalen Walker, 2 if you don't like him.
I think and I'm looking while you go now, I'm looking at some of the comments. I think if Belichick was still the coach and the GM, they would definitely take offensive lineman at 4. But I think they would be. I think with Vrabel at the helm, they'll probably take him. I could see them taking him at 4. It's my opinion on it. Knowing, I live up here. I don't think it's cap that they wouldn't take this man at 4. I think if Hunter's there, it's the no-brainer. But if not, I wouldn't be shocked. They could take him at 4.
Seems like everybody's getting on board with Walker, bro. Everybody's rocking with Walker. There's a couple people that ain't, and I get it. I would see where you're coming from if you weren't a fan of Walker. I think that that tweener, you know what I mean? You gotta have a coaching staff that knows how to use him, and I think that's the biggest concern with Walker coming to Carolina. Can they use him properly? Will he be effective in the defense? I think that's the question mark. And so, yes, he will play. He's going to get out there, but he's not going to be an every down edge. He's not going to be is he going to be an every down stand up? I don't know. I don't know where he's going to go. If he's playing like Louvu carved out a nice little role here under Evero. Obviously wanted to go somewhere else, but is he just going to plug and play into that? You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Very interesting. All right. We'll move on. Yeah, and see, wait seconds what I was just saying. I don't trust the DC properly to use a skill set. I think a lot of people feel that way. Now, this is interesting. This is interesting right here.
Not as interesting as you think.
Tackle at 8, 16%.
Bro, listen, man. Y'all keep talking about protect Bryce, get Bryce some help. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what help looks like.
16%, bro. ESPN is wilding.
I don't know, bro. Bro, you pulled up the visits, didn't you?
Yeah, but this is at 8. This is not second round or depth. This is at number 8. Mimbo.
Yo, y'all would lose your mind if we draft offensive tackle.
Bro, the chat would go crazy. Yo, it would be crazy if we.
But I look, bro. I'm telling you, man. I don't think they'll do it, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did. Because look, dog, it's an inside out type of thing, bro.
You don't believe that, bro. You don't believe
it's an inside out thing, man.
You would be shocked.
I think I would enjoy the banter for the draft that night. I'll tell you that. I would enjoy the banner because folks will lose their mind if we drafted somebody. But there's an argument for it. Moan ain't gonna be here forever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So again, just going to the strengths. He's got a strong base, very smart, good communicator, run blocking. Right, that's what we keep talking about, run blocking. This is where I get a little. Hey, where is he gonna play? Where is his fit? Is he, some are talking about moving him inside. He could be a guard, or like you said, Dave, he could switch out to left or right. Because guess what? Moton, like you said, Moton ain't gonna be here forever, and then Icky is on a contract year. right? So do you believe in Icky? I don't know. But the question would be, are you willing to spend that type of draft capital on something that's not going to pay off right now? And that this pick would not pay off
No, it wouldn't.
right now
No.
unless he can beat Icky or Moten, which I don't think is going to happen. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to put him. You have to start him at guard, and even then, that'll be difficult right now,
That's
right?
not happening, bro. Not
and that's
with
not
Lewis.
happening.
We just
have
paid
all the
them.
people we just played. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be. It would be if we took an offensive tackle. It would absolutely be the head scratcher of the draft of Panther Nation if we took offensive tackle. I think the arguments between wide receiver versus edge with 8 would set ablaze if we took offensive tackle at 8. Set ablaze. So
yeah. So with that said, let me get a 1 in the chat if you rocking with Mimbo. Let me get a 2 in the chat if you like. Nah,
yeah, them two's about to be lit.
2 is
you might see like 2.
Yeah, it's a
yo man. The guy that didn't want Walker wants this guy instead of Walker. Everyday game is trolling. You want to talk about trolling? Mad twos, bro.
Mad twos, bro. That's crazy. Y'all not rocking with Mimbo or any. Well,
if they run the card to get this man at 8, and I'm trying to figure out, would there be a scenario of like the players of would we go take him at 8? Like if Mason Graham ain't there, if Walker ain't there, if Ted ain't there, would they take this man at 8? Would they take this man at 8? I
don't see it.
I'm just like, if those 3 guys ain't there, would they take this man at 8? And I'm assuming you're going in order of percentages of who we take, right? Did you hear me? Shot.
Say it again.
I'm assuming you're going by the highest percentage of who we're going to take.
Yeah, highest percentage. This is in order.
So this is the second highest odds.
That's correct.
So an offensive tackle is the second highest odds. Like, I want y'all to marinate on that for a second. But the 2 guys that are in the top 2 do have one thing in common. They both play in the trenches.
Yep.
So
which aligns with what we saw earlier, right? That aligns with the visits and everything else. So
yep. So I only say that to say, like, it's going. Bruh, 16% is wild, man.
16% is crazy. Well, let's keep it moving. A lot of 2s in the chat for that one. Let's keep moving. Next up, we had Genty, running back at.
There's 14%. No way we're taking this man at 8.
Hey, listen, I'm just giving you the data, bro.
There's no way.
Don't shoot the
ESPN need to rethink their analytics. What is this the AI thing? Yeah, they need to rethink the AI.
It might be AI.
Man. Whoever hired the company that did their AI need to fire them immediately. Got to go out the paint. This is terrible AI. This is terrible.
Coach P said, "Hell nah." Let me get number 3. No, hell no.
They're already putting 2s in the chat before.
All right. Listen. Let me talk this through, because it's. Let me see if I can make it make sense. All right.
No.
Let me see if I can make it make sense.
The last option made more sense than this. At 8, no. Unless we trade down to 32, no.
Rotational running back, right? You got Chuba, you got Rico, and you got Genty. 3-headed monster out this mug, right? And then guess what? You don't know what Jonathan Brooks is going to do when he come back. So you have a dynamic duo in place with Brooks potentially if Brooks don't come back. So I mean, this might just work out. You know what I mean?
No.
Genty. No, y'all not jacking with it?
Nah, the 2's already out in the streets, man.
Come on, man.
Y'all can't take Genty at 8. Y'all can't believe this. Y'all putting 1s. The ones that are putting 1s are accidentally putting 1s. They fat fingering on 1s and they mean to put 2s. They don't know that. They don't know how to get their hands properly to type the 1 versus the 2. So they're out here typing the 1 by accident. Or you got a super chat? My bad. Hold on, let me get your super chat, Cash.
Why you getting that again? And I'm trolling, by the way. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you want Genty as a Carolina Panther at pick number 8. Let me get a 2 if you like. Nah.
I want to make sure y'all truly paying attention. Now, put an X. Now, let's do an X for this one because y'all like bugging. Genty at 8 after paying Chuba and signing Dowdle. Fire dog. ESPN analytics, the analytics tend to be on it for like game picks and things of that sort. This ain't one of those moments. They shouldn't be doing draft predictions. No way, no how. No way.
Hey, don't shoot the messenger, bro. I'm just giving you the data, bro. I'm not the one that said do it. All right, let's keep it moving. Fourth on the list. Another tackle, Dave. Will Campbell.
I'm telling you, bro. It ain't yo.
It's in the stars, bro. It's in the stars. It could happen.
8.5%.
8.5%.
Well, so far. Hey, but hey, look at it this way. Look at it this way, Panther Nation. This is what y'all want, right? Y'all want somebody on the offensive side of the ball. 3 out of 4 so far got the highest odds on the offensive side of the ball. Yikes. I like Will Campbell too.
Yeah, the thing about Will though, because he's got shorter arms, he's got a little bit of case of the Brady Christensen, so he could slide inside the guard, which makes this a more even improbable occurrence because I don't see us taking another guard, especially at number 8 when you just paid Damian Lewis and Hunt. I don't see that happening at all. And so so this is one I just don't. Like you said, Dave, ESPN got to redo the analytics.
Bruh.
I don't think. Listen, I'm giving you the data. This is not me trolling, bro. I'm pulling the data directly from ESPN analytics. Just
so y'all know. This is just so y'all know. This is coming from the worldwide leader. This data coming from the worldwide leader. We tell y'all not to be. I can't, bruh. You can decide how they feel about us, or you can decide how that AI feels about us.
I'm not, bro. I got the screenshots.
No.
Bro.
I'm just listening to the chat. Like,
I got the screenshots. It's not, bro. I'm telling you.
Yo, he can.
Screenshots. This is from ESPN Analytics.
Dude, what 2 OTs in our top 4 most likely pitch? I'm literally about to bro. If I'm telling you, man, if I'm gonna repeat it again, if Tet, Graham, and Walker's off that board, I'm telling you, bro. Would not shock me if we take offensive tackle at 8. Would not shock me one bit. Would not shock me. Because I think at that point it becomes a safe pick. It becomes a safe pick at that point. That's my opinion. That it becomes a safe pick. So would not shock me one bit. Would not shock me.
I will say ESPN Analytics. This is the same company that has hired David Newton. So let's keep it all in context. You know what I mean? So
I mean that was it, but that was by human beings, not AI.
Well,
my issues with the AI right now.
I don't know if it's AI or not. But Dave,
oh Lord, I know y'all happy about this one. Was this before or after the Colin Granger pick?
I ran this.
We even let those guys vote, so I'm just pretty sure there was going to be a bunch of 2s in the chat.
That bunch of 2s in the chat. I'm sure it's going to be a bunch of 2s for that one. But Tyler Warren, 8%. Okay, the red zone. Talked about the red zone threat. He's a red zone threat too. You know what I mean? Good hands, versatility. Yeah, I mean, you can put him anywhere on the line or out wide. I think he would come in and be immediately tied in number 1. And so this is this is what I was talking about, right? When you draft a guy at number 8 with your first overall pick, you do want a guy that's going to come in and contribute right away. Like he's got to come in and play some reps and make an immediate impact. That's what we've been missing from our guys. Like, we need immediate impact from our guy. Now, Dave, I got to be honest with you. Out Walker, yes, he will provide. I think he will provide immediate impact.
Yes, he would.
But this is a guy that Warren, I think, will also provide immediate impact. And I know we drafted Jatavion and we just re-signed Trimble, but they ain't Warren, bro. And so
somebody in this chat said he is. Somebody said he was better. That Sanders is better. Where's it at? We already got Sanders. I saw it in the chat. Now I wasn't tripping. Somebody said it. Oh man.
It's not. So go to Acash Super Chat. Acash said at least. Here, I pull it up.
At least Warren makes a little sense. But whatever this article came from, I wish it had a face so I could slap it. Dog,
It
it
ain't an
was a
article.
face.
It's not an article. It's an application that they have. It's an app.
It's ESPN. It's AI. I'm telling you, it's AI. Yo, by the way, man, I'm going to say this out loud. Analytics and AI are two different things. They're not the same thing. And I think ESPN is making them the same, and it's unsat.
They're
like
not
very unsat. Because you're not going to tell me your analytics did this. Like actual analytics did this and said, oh yeah, we're only gonna as bad as our defense has been, we're only gonna give you the best odds with the first guy, and everybody else is gonna be offensive players. Like you cannot. There's no way. No way. And there's not a shot on Warren, let me be clear. It's just the fact that your analytics.
So to be fair, I think, and again, I do not know how this thing is run. I don't know how it's put together. But what I do think is that it's taking into account draft position, right? And it's saying, okay, if the Carolina Panthers are picking number 8, these are the guys that are going to be available. And based on their needs, it's kind of ranking them. And so it's marrying the two: draft position, value for the position, and then need, right? So I think I don't know what the algorithm is and how it's weighted, but I think that's how it's working. But
I just don't believe if Jalen Walker's not there that the next 5 options are offensive guys. I just don't believe that.
Well, let me see this real quick because I don't want to skip that again. But let me get a 1 in the chat if you rocking.
Oh yeah, this
with
is
Tyler
Warren.
Warren.
A lot of
and then
Warren.
let me get a 2 in the chat if you're not rocking with Tyler Warren. I want to see something real quick. I'm trying to see something.
Whoa, a lot of 2s. Well, just 1, 2, really, but a little mixed bag. Somebody said 1 point. A cash with the 1.5 is diabolical.
Yeah, 1.5 is crazy. Wade said Rule, Frank, and Fit help train this model. That is funny. That's funny. That is funny. All right, let's keep it moving, man. Shout out to Tyler Warren. It looks like y'all would be okay, a little bit okay with Tyler Warren. But here's the next one. Ted, 6.5%. Ted, we already know about Ted, but I think he could potentially step in and be wide receiver 1. Again, I've seen all of the critiques and people analyzing him. So it's just he's polarizing, very polarizing player. But 6.5% for Ted. Dave, what you think about this one?
Kind of shocked he wasn't higher than Warren. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I mean that's the more glaring thing. The fact that you have 2 offensive linemen, a running back, a tight end, all ahead of him. That was the glaring thing for me. I think Ted's part of the top 3, but I think Ted's the option if Graham and Walker's gone. 6.5% is kind of wild, though. I would have thought he would have been higher than that. I'm not for taking him because I feel like I feel like you impact target share across the board. It goes back to what we talked about earlier. But revolving Leggett and Coker and things of that sort. So
yeah,
I'm just shocked that he's so low compared to some of the other position groups, like Gentry. Like he should be higher than Gentry. He should be higher than offensive lineman. But then again, we'll see.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be interesting. I don't know that we're gonna take Ted.
Only one defensive person so far in this.
Only
in these
one.
Odds, in the top one, but only one.
They coming up. I think it's a couple more. But shout out to Ted, 6.5%. Let me get a 1 in the chat if you rocking with Ted, and let me get a 2 in the chat if you're not rocking with Ted. 1 in the chat if you're rocking with him. 2 if you're not rocking with Ted. I should see quite a few 1s in this chat. Or not. 2s, couple 2s, 1s,
2s,
a bunch of 2s there. Big D said no 2s there. Kaseko says 1s. That's a little bit of mixed bag.
That's just a mixed bag. Kind of shocked. You're not taking Higgins at 8 though. It's about what you take at 8. Somebody said rather have Higgins. I get it, but I'm not gonna take Higgins at 8.
But casual saying too. That's funny. That's funny. All right. So that is Tet McMillan, man. Salute to Tet. We'll keep it moving. Next on the list, Will Johnson. There you go, another defensive guy, Dave. So Will Johnson was next at 6%. He's got the 6'2" frame. Only thing really about him is his injuries. But this is another guy that I think can contribute immediately. So I think he could be day one starter. And again, we play a lot of man. I think that some zone. I think that I don't think we play too many man. That's a typo. But I think that he would fit in the system. And I think it would make sense here. I think it would make sense taking Will Johnson. However, you got to think about the injuries. You got the durability. Can he stay healthy? And so what's interesting though, Dave, is you see what we're talking about, these guys that can contribute immediately. Like there are guys that may be available a little bit later, right? So you start talking about a trade back scenario. You probably can't trade back and get Walker. His stock is too high right now.
Nah, if Walker's there, that's the pick. I'm standing by that, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But if he's not, you get in a scenario where you could if he's not there, that means somebody else is falling, right? Somebody else.
Yeah, but so like, and the thing is, man, I've been thinking about this in my head about how these scenarios could fall with 8. If Walker's not there and Mason Graham's not there, I could see us getting out of that pick. I can see it.
Yeah.
Because that point, I think after like pick 10 or pick 11 or 12, it becomes a mixed bag across the board. And at that point, you can build some more. You can build your. If you got a lot of folks rated around the same, you just take who's available at that point. So there's a lot of guys that I just don't see us staying at 8 for unless they don't have a choice. But I think if the guy that they want ain't there at 8, they're gonna get out of that pick so quick, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's what I believe. And then you will definitely see an offensive lineman taken it potentially in the first round, or you might get your wide receiver that you want in the first round. Like you might get I just see like I think they got their eyes on a couple players, and if those couple players ain't sitting there, they're bolting out of 8. They're getting out of there. I don't have any sources on this. This is just Dave's thoughts regarding it. But I wouldn't be mad at Will Johnson. I mean, I know the injury is a legitimate concern.
Yeah, and we can't double down on the JC. I mean, you gotta have at least.
They paid him though.
Yeah, true.
They paid that man, so they're not as concerned about it. So should we?
Yeah, we should. Big Dino Kool-Aid Simmons says Walker not there, trade back. Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see that happening
too. I think it's Walker and Graham, but like when you look at those 8, bro, I was like doing like scenarios about what's going to happen in the top 8, and it's going to be kind of wild. And the part of the reason was primarily about Shedeur, because all the talk about whether or not Shedeur is going to even get picked that high. I think the best case scenario for us as Panthers fans, and I said this numerous times in different chats covering HBCU sports, is that Shedeur and Cam Ward gets taken in the first 7 picks. That is like best case scenario for Panthers fans right now. You want 2 quarterbacks taken before it comes to 8. My opinion.
Yeah.
Like I know there was some talks about maybe the Steelers will trade all the way up to come get him at 8 if he's there at 8. No, they're not going to give up that much draft capital to trade up to 8, especially when they don't think they're going to probably necessarily need to. Because if he falls below 7, there's a scenario where he'll be there at 21. Like, they're talking like he's going to have a crazy fall. We're not getting 3 quarterbacks before 8. That ain't happening.
A-Cash says if Walker, Graham, Tet are all gone before 8, and we don't trade back, then we're taking Michael. Yeah, and he is up on this list coming up soon. So, but yeah, man, shout out to Will Johnson. Let me get there we go. There's Michael. But before we get to Michael, can we get a 1 in the chat if you rocking with Will Johnson? Let me get a 2 in the chat if you not rocking with Will Johnson? Let me just go back to his slide real quick, just so we. Let me get one in the chat if you rocking with Will, or two if you scared of his injuries, and you like, nah, I ain't really jacking that.
Another mixed bag. Real mixed bag, bro.
Yeah, mixed bag for sure.
Some people saying he's overrated.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very fascinating.
All right, let's keep it moving. Let's go to Mikael Williams. Again, raw edge. This is the one where I don't know that. This is one where taking him at 8 is a little because I don't know if he's gonna go in there and be an immediate impact guy. I think he's a little bit more development. He needs a little bit more development. And that's where I get a little bit concerned. So if Mikael at 8 is, I don't know. This is one I would not be excited about. I had to see it, bro. But I ain't.
This is the fall in love. This is the fall in love guy too.
Yeah,
like this is the guy that folks. This is the fall in love guy.
A lot of buzz. Yeah, it's a lot of buzz with him and the Panthers. It's a lot of buzz out there talking about him. I don't know, man. I don't know. What y'all thinking? What y'all thinking, man? What y'all thinking about Williams?
If we take Mikael at 8, bro.
Let me get a 1 in the chat if you rocking with Mikael Williams.
Would y'all take Mikael? Would y'all take Mikael over Ted? I don't even know if I would do that.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
Nah, I wouldn't even do that. And you know how I feel about taking wide receiver at 8. I wouldn't even do that. I don't think I would do that. Oh, I don't know if I could do that. No. Walker makes way more sense. Graham makes way more sense. Notice, safe bet that Graham is gonna beat her at 8, huh? Unless he's after this.
Well, no, they're saying that Graham would be gone based off the ESPN analytics. He's not going to show up here.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, Graham's gonna be gone before 8. Like I think right now the way that the draft is gonna go, I think Cam Ward's gonna go 1 to the Titans. I think Travis Hunter's gonna be a Brown. And then you got the Giants at 3, and I think the Giants will probably take Carter there at 3. I know there's some Giants fans that I know that want them to take Shador there. I just don't see that happening. And then the Patriots at 4, they're unpredictable, bro. They could go any direction. They can go anywhere. They could take Walker. They could take Tet. They could take a lot of places at 4. They could take Warren. There's a lot of options they can do at 4.
Yeah. But yeah, Michael, let me, if y'all rocking with Mikael, man, let me get a 1 in the chat if you rocking with Mikael. 2 if you're not really, you like.
Yo, did you get that comment from ESPN 2 would pair with Brian Burns to be groomed as his successor?
Say what now?
That last bullet would pair well with Brian Burns or be groomed as his successor.
No, I grabbed that for something else. I grabbed it from something else.
Did you grab it from ESPN Analytics?
No. Disregard that.
All right, cool. Okay, just want to make sure. Because if it was a ESPN, I want to light their ass up.
No. It's not. I disregard that.
Okay. Shamar Stewart. Is he on your list?
Let's see. No, but Shador is.
What?
Yo, that was crazy when I saw this, bro.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and end this show now. Like, we're wasting our time at this point.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen, it could happen. The Panthers could, in fact, take Shador. Nah, this is not happening. Not happening at all.
Like, what are we doing?
It's on there, bro. Listen, I'm gonna show y'all the screenshot, bro.
No, I believe you. Analytics, what are you doing? I'm not going here, bro.
I'm not trolling,
I'm not,
bro. It's up there, bro. I'm telling you.
I'm not doing this, though. I'm not doing this. Now, watch Dart get taken before Shador. That would be wild, by the way. But it'll be more than. I'll be kind of happy for Shador because Shador's going to probably fall to a good situation. Or is a yeah, bro. The fact that Shador made it on this list, bro.
My man ACAS said, "All right, man, Shy, skip this one. Ain't no way. Go to the next one. All right. I'm just giving y'all the data,
afraid.
Bro.
I'm afraid. The next one might be Jason Dart.
I'm at to pull the site up because y'all think I'm capping. I'm not, bro. But I'll keep it moving. The last two I actually like, but I'm not at 8. This is where it's like at number 8. Are we gonna take these guys? It's very low percentage, but I like the players. Barron, I like him. I think he's very, very solid. I don't definitely at 8 is way too rich. These next two guys is too rich. So Barron and then Jihad Campbell, both of these guys I like these guys. If we traded back and maybe got them in the teens, cool. But at 8, it's a little bit too rich. A little bit too rich for my blood. So those were the last two. And again, I like Jihad a lot. And if you miss out on Walker, you got to consider it. You know what I mean? But I just don't. At 8 is a bit tough. Let me see if I can show y'all this site because y'all think I'm capping. Well, actually, here's the screenshots first of the actual ranking. So this is the screenshot of the ranking at number 8. I basically put them in the same order, so y'all don't think I'm capping. And then,
you know what's funny? I slandered them so bad about all the offensive guys, and they ended up being 5-5.
Yeah. Well,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6-4. Never mind. Am I counting right? No, there's 11 players, so it's 6-5. 6 offensive, 5 defensive. Shador is the reason why. I blame Shador.
Yeah. And then this is another one. This is the chance that the player is available at pick number 8. So, like, this is just saying, okay, is this guy going to be here? So there's some other names down here too, but there's some guys that were on our list: Mikael Williams, Will Johnson, Ted, Tyler Warren. They're saying all are going to be there at 8. And these other Will Campbell, Jalen Walker, they got like
at 50% is dog. I'm telling you, do not sleep on New England taking that man at 4.
Yeah, 50% is crazy. So it's interesting.
I'm telling you,
it's interesting.
Shador at 30% is interesting too, which is good. That's a good sign for us. Like, you want Shador to be low. Like, what I've been hearing from folks, man, I don't know how that's looking.
See, this is ESPN analytics draft day picker. So this is a site. It's a real thing, bro. You know what I mean?
It's simulation, so it's AI.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I just thought it was interesting. And again, I went to pick number 8. You can do whatever pick you want. Yep. So Panthers are number 8. So yeah, that was it's a real thing. Yeah. ACAS said, I'm trying to clear my name so I don't dislike the stream. Hey man, I'm just showing.
Yeah, now I'm curious about a couple teams. What do they say about the Patriots at 4?
4
or 3, whatever. Yeah, 4. Yeah,
Mason
whatever.
Graham or Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Genty. Then it goes down from there.
And then what about the Giants? The lowly Giants is 3, right?
I don't know.
Travis or Abdul.
Yep. And then 2.
Yeah, it's Hunter. I think Brown's taking Hunter, bro. I don't think there's a question that Brown's taking Hunter. And we know Cam Ward's going 1 overall.
And Cam Ward. Yep. So that's kind of how they have it. So if we went by this, it would be It would be Cam, Travis Hunter, probably Abdul Carter in this range. Then Mason Graham at 4 or 5. Then Gentile. Who's picking 6?
The Raiders.
Raiders?
Raiders is an unpredictable one, too. By the time you go to 6, it becomes kind of.
Then Jaguars and all that.
Yeah. Once you get to 6, it becomes interesting at that point. But I stand by what I say, bro. If Shador could fall pretty far,
I think that I've been seeing the T with him and the Saints. I think that's interesting. If they
There's
take
no way the Saints ain't gonna take him.
I don't know. I don't know. Bro.
I think he'll struggle. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck, and I like Shador. I think he'll struggle with the Saints, bro.
Well, they locked in with Carr though. His the way Carr's contract set up.
Yeah,
so they would have to sit him.
They would have to.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Boy, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna tell you the perfect place for him to go. 21 with the Steelers, man.
Yeah,
that'd be perfect for him. That'll be perfect for him.
I think he could potentially fall, man. Like,
yeah, it's looking like it, bro. Like, what is it? What are the odds? What are the Saints got him at right now at 9?
Saints.
They're 9, I think. Yeah, right.
They got the tackle or Tyler Warren or Will Campbell. It's kind of similar to us. It's a different little order.
Yeah. Nah, I could see Shador fall pretty far, man. Which is kind of wild, but I could see it. Because typically, even when you have so many teams that need a quarterback, you typically don't have the second quarterback falling that far unless you're really not impressed with this class. And I don't think a lot of folks are impressed with this class.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's just the reality. Like, I think this class is similar to, I think folks are comparing this class to the Kenny Pickett class. There was only one first round quarterback, and that one is pretty much done in essence when you sit down and think about it. Like, you're not gonna see Kenny Pickett no more. He done. We'll see.
Yeah, man. So we getting closer every day. We're getting closer and closer to the draft. Y'all know what we do on draft night. It's gonna be a watch party. It's gonna be fun. Probably try to invite some special guests over and lock in. Should be fun. Shout out to the Patreon members. Y'all get access to the stream. Lock in with us. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Should be a good one, man.
Cannot
We're
wait.
gonna have a lot of drama. We'll see if it get any more dramatic than last year when we traded back into the first round to take Leggett. Lots of drama.
Yep. All right. Dave, with that said, you got anything else?
Nah, man, I'm good. I'm good to go. Shout out to the Florida Gators, I guess.
Yeah, salute to the Florida Gators, man. Salute to Florida. All right,
I'm done.
We're gonna shut this thing down. Like, subscribe, notification bell, get in the comments, all that good stuff, man. We will holler at y'all next week. I got a couple ideas I may or may not drop depending on how things go. It's been
no more AI.
Incredibly busy. Don't knock AI, bro. Don't knock
Well,
AI.
excuse me. No more ESPN analytics.
Come on, man. Don't do ESPN like that. Don't do ESPN.
Bro, did you see what I saw? They out here talking about we got a chance to draft Shador Sanders at 8, bro.
I'm just giving you the information, bro.
I know.
Do with it as you may. All right. That said, we up out of here. We'll holler at y'all. Peace.